All right, just a bit of a workout idea for you, especially for some of the guys that have trained with me. I'll give you a few different options. The first thing that you can do if you want to get some strength training in over the holiday period is the first exercise we'll go over is just a deadlift. You've seen me do it before, so that could be your first option. You can either go sumo or standard. It's up to you, rep range. You can do a 5x5. You guys know what to do with this one. Otherwise, there's some videos on the YouTube page on how to do that. So you could do that if you're not comfortable with your deadlift. We've also covered this one, and like in particular, if you don't have the equipment at home, guys, the single leg deadlift, making sure that you're nice and straight through your body. You can have some weights here, or you could just do some body weight stuff. Think 3 sets maybe of 10 on each leg. Now, if you really struggle with that, right, we're doing stuff to work on your glutes and posterior chain. You could do something a little bit different or a bit easier in some respects. Doing some bridges. Again, you could do a 3x10 on that. You could do single leg bridges or hip lifts. 3 sets of, say, 10 or even more on each leg. Or even some tabletops, guys. This is a bit full on the shoulders. You just got to be careful. Or remember this one, guys, thoracic bridges. Driving up, reaching up towards the sky. So that's the first section. Choose one of those exercises or just have a play around with them. Yeah, as I said, first bit of your exercise routine over the holiday period. Next is to work on still glutes and quads, but let's go over it anyhow. You could do a 3x10 on, say, lunge pattern. Okay, you've done this with me before. You could turn it into a bit more of a split squat. Again, 3 sets of 10 reps. All right, you've done this one with me before, most likely. Sorry, this knee shouldn't be touching the ground. I've got this box here just to help stabilize myself. If that's not ideal on the knees, grab any sort of weight that you have at home. Remember the goblet squat, guys? Coming down nice and long through the spine. You can do a 3x10 on that. Okay, you can even just do body weight, right, just to get yourself moving. Remember being nice and long through the spine. The other thing, find any sort of step. All right, just working on step ups with a bit of a hold at the top just to work on stability and balance as well. Again, you could do a 3x10 on that. All right, that just covers all your leg exercises. A few different options there. Try it out. Next bit, try and get in maybe some sort of push-up. So obviously, standard push-up on the ground. You can mix up your push-ups if you're pretty used to them. Okay, you could go feet wider, feet closer, one leg up. Okay, you could have one hand elevated or whatever. If you struggle with that, knees is fine as well. Okay, and if you struggle with that, it might be worth finding some form of bench. It doesn't have to be this low, a little bit higher, just to get your strength up on the push-up. Now, I'm not going too deep on this. If you can't go all the way down, that's fine. So that's why I'm showing you. But again, this is just a way of getting some strength training in. 3 sets, 4 sets, 10 reps, or whatever reps you can do really well. So after you've done your push-up, try and get some sort of row in. I know it can be difficult if you don't have the equipment. Find something with a bit of weight to it. Single arm dumbbell row is not a bad thing to do. Okay. All right. You could, this is a bit heavy, but if you had 2 dumbbells, do some sort of reverse fly. Again, trying to get into your back or rhomboid area. Again, if you have a barbell, bent over barbell row with either a pronated or supine grip. Try hands wider for something different as well. It's meant to get into your rhomboids a little bit more. Just like so. How many reps? Well, that really depends. Depends how heavy the weight is. Maybe aim for that 10 to 15 rep mark. I reckon if you're doing 3 or 4 sets on your push-ups, try and get 4 to 6 sets on your rows. So you've done all those exercises with your legs, your push-up, your row, let's get some core in. All right, guys. So options are, you know how to do your hollow, pressing your lower back in, shoulders head off the ground, okay, toes pointed. Try and work on different positions or extending your legs out, hands above. Just practice, get better at it. Okay, side planks, we've been asking you guys to try and work on that. Either knees like so, long through the spine, make sure your head's not sagging down. If you can, either one foot in front of the other, one foot on top, and then again, on top of that, maybe getting some leg abduction in. So a few options with that on your core. You guys know how to do a plank by now, I would hope. So you can also practice your plank, tucking in the pelvis, shoulders pulled into hips, getting tight through your body, and maybe even working on your shoulder taps from here. So you might need to consider just holding this position if you struggle with lifting your hand up. Otherwise, nice and slowly, like so. Ideally, you're locking your hips in and your body's nice and straight. I reckon, look, it's not ideal necessarily having your hips up like so, but this might be a way of just getting some strength in with the shoulders. And then as you get stronger, try and you lower your hips a little bit more until you get to that point where you can get your body relatively straight. So there's a few options for core for you to try out after those strength exercises. Last bit, everyone's favorite, set the timer for 5 minutes. Do your absolute best with this one. Okay, you might need to do your crawling on your knees, guys. All right, just to get your pattern. But then from there, okay, you know, if you set the timer to work on your crawling for 5 minutes like so, you are definitely going to get a fantastic workout in. From there, you can do shoulder taps just to mix things up as well, just to work on stability through the hips. Lots of different things you can do. You can tell that I'm breathing hard just from doing that little bit. That's your Christmas/New Year's workout plan. Give it a good shot, be safe and be well, guys.